Hi, I'm Ben. We're going to talk about some metal music. At the urging of several of my loved ones, I've pondered doing this for a while now, so we're doing it. I'm going to see how this goes. This is my first video, so we'll see how the sound and the lighting and stuff works, but so far I think I have the kinks worked out pretty good. What we're listening to, my CD player over there, is The Moaning, Blood from Stone. I featured this album on my Instagram account, which I started about a month ago to feature records from my collection. You can check that out. I'll put a link in the description. The name is Carrier of Wounds. So what I thought I'd do here is go through my CD collection from start to finish, maybe 10 at a time or so, and just talk a little bit about each one, because I guess that's what you do when you do these things. If there's anything else that, before we get started, I don't know, let's just start. So I keep mine with my numerical band names in the beginning. You might be surprised how many I have that start with a number. But first I have 122 Stab Wounds, the Deity of Perversion. This is on Head Not Found in the 90s, and it kind of reminds me of Eucharist. It's kind of death metal-y, it's pretty melodic. It's not like brutal guttural death metal or anything, but it's pretty good. I picked it up used many years ago. I don't listen to it very often, but it's pretty decent if you haven't heard it. 1349. This is their first EP on Holy Cost Records. I don't listen to it very often. I'm not as crazy about these guys as most people are. And I remember this one being pretty average. But I picked it up used a couple years ago at a local record store. It's alright. This is the one I really like from them. I really like this one. I have it on vinyl. But the riffing on this is really cool. I really like Frost's drumming on it. I'm not a super huge fan of his drumming in Satyricon. I'm kind of like, I go back and forth between what I think of Frost. But I really like his playing in this, and I wish he would do more stuff like this in Satyricon. I'd like to see him live sometime, so if they ever come through, maybe I'd think about it. But this band has just put out a lot of crap, which is surprising because this album, the riffing is really good. Everything about it I really like. Next, so that's all I have from 1349. That's all I really care to listen to. I don't know if there's any other ones that I would really want to have. I check in on them every once in a while and see if I do anything good. Last year's did that Monster of Chaos or whatever album. I thought that was idiotic. Third and Immortal is a band I really like, but I don't really have the ones that I like most on CD. I'd really like to get Tears Laid in Earth or their first couple, but I think I remember this one being decent, and I found it used at Cheapo in Minneapolis a couple of years ago. They're a pretty good band. It's like kind of pseudo doom, female vocal kind of stuff. It's pretty good. Next, I've got two CDs from a Grindcore band, 324. This thing is in my top Grindcore albums ever, and it clocks in at like 11 minutes. Just furious, blasting, abysmal Grindcore. I love this stuff. The guitars are great, vocals are amazing, drumming is good. I'd love to play drums in a band like this. By the way, I play drums in case you didn't know. This came out like I think it was on 7-inch originally, and it got reissued on CD by HG Fact. So if you're into Grindcore, I really recommend this one in particular, because their other stuff is a little more experimental. It's not bad, but as far as like just I don't know, napalm deathy kind of grindcore, I recommend that highly. I'm not a whole big fan of grindcore. I did have a phase of it in the early 2000s or so, and that one really impressed me. And whenever I feel like listening to grindcore, it's pretty much Terrorizer or that. I don't really get into Napalm Death very much. But after that, they put out a full length that was kind of long, a little more musical, a little more thought out, and it's kind of interesting. I think I found this used somewhere. Also got it on LP in Des Moines not too long ago. So that does it for the numeric section of my CDs. The next band, well, I guess these are maybe out of order. Yeah, this is a band, I just found these used at a pawn shop a couple of years ago. There's this guy in this little town I used to live in called Cedar Rapids, and he would sell hundreds of his used CDs to pawn shops every once in a while, and sometimes it was really, really good stuff. So I've scrounged up a lot of the stuff that he sold, and his name was Keith Smith, and he would write his name on a lot of his CDs and tapes and stuff, which really pissed me off. But I always thought, man, if this is the stuff that this guy's getting rid of, I'd really love to see what he has, and I'd really love to get it to meet him. Finally, I did run into him once, and I got his email address, but we never actually got in touch or anything. He sounded like he was always real busy with kids and wife and stuff like that. Didn't really quite make the connection, but I always felt like I had a connection to him through albums that he got rid of. So he was into late 90s, mid 90s, and early 2000s kind of melodic stuff, a lot of Swedish stuff. So I've scrounged that stuff up from pawn shops. Hell, one time I went into a pawn shop and found a hoard of his stuff, and I'd probably dropped about $150 or so on a giant stack of CDs. It was so good to come into a cache of his stuff, but I haven't had that happen in a couple of years. And there aren't any more pawn shops, I think, that carry CDs around here anymore. That's becoming hard to find. But anyways, this is And Oceans. I like their first couple of records, so I thought I would pick these up. They're interesting. They're kind of like that cyber black metal kind of style, which sometimes I'm in the mood for. And honestly, I think this one is the one I would prefer out of the two of these. I couldn't even tell you what this one is even like. I want to say it was even further down the techno industrial sort of style, which kind of not all that hot on. But this one's pretty interesting, and I recommend it if it interests you at all. And Oceans is the band, did I say that? And this album is called Am God. Century Media put it out. Same with this one. This one's 2002. And this one is 2001. And the albums before these are pretty good too. I just don't have them on CD. I never got around to picking them up. They're a Finnish black metal band. And then, is that 10 already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess this is number 9. I'll pick another one out here in a second. This is Abhorror. This is a reissue of their full length with a couple of demos put out by Extreme Music, which is a great label for really crusty Swedish stuff. And I think this band was from Singapore. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Pretty typical 90s death metal. Nothing all that groundbreaking, but for some reason this version goes for a lot of money. Yeah. So that's 9. I guess I gotta get another CD. I don't want to get up, so I'm just gonna do this one that I have over here. This is Varg saying Call of the Night Wolves. German black metal band. You know what to expect. You see this font, you see a guy in corpse paint on the cover, you know what this is like. It's a German band sounding kind of Swedish, Norwegian. It's really good for just dark throny kind of stuff. This is the solo project of the guy from Graven, which is also a really good band, but I think Graven only did like the one record. Maybe there was a second one, but Varg took off and has done quite a few albums, and I've liked most of them, but this one, I think it's the first one, is probably the best one. So that does it. That's 10 CDs. It feels like it's only been 3 minutes and 16 seconds. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you like it, let me know. If you have any questions or comments, go for it. You know how to do it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. It's kind of gaining some steam. I've been having fun doing that. I post a picture of one record every day and just talk a little bit about it. So yeah, link in the description for that Instagram. I guess that's how you do these. Bye.